Hello, good people, and thank you so much for checking out my channel. It's your girl, Keena. I hope everyone's having a great day. This is a recap of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. This is the Ex-Housewives Season 2, Episode 4. The title of the episode is Speak Easy and Act Tough. Alright, so on this particular episode, we start out with Jill in the kitchen. Of course, she's with the house staff, making her famous chocolate chip muffins. On the agenda for this day, they're going to do the 80s workout and attend a tea party and also a prohibition dinner. Alright, so we see Brandy. She's sitting outside with Eva and she's being so apologetic for calling Eva's husband a mangina, which Eva didn't have any clue what that was, and she even told Brandy that she would think the mangina would be the opposite of her husband because her husband is a man who takes care of man duties and he also takes care of their children. And so pretty much in a nutshell, Eva tells Brandy not to even try her again, especially when it comes to her husband or anyone's in her family. And Eva's pretty much like she already knows and understands Brandy, that Brandy's just gonna say whatever, but she better not try her like that ever again. Alright, so the ladies are in the house and they're getting ready for the 80s theme aerobics, which is led by Dorinda. So it's titled Aerobics for Dorinda. And of course, they're putting on their 80s attires. Tamra has the big hair and some type of old bow, back in the day bow, like they used to, like the scrunchies or whatever. You know what? I think scrunchies have even came back. Yeah, they're back. Scrunchies are back, guys. So Tamara has a scrunchie in her hair, and then she also has like the leggings and the unitard. I think that's what they call it. And of course, she has it where all of her ass is out. She's in great shape, but of course, she always has to show her ass. And then we see the ladies with the leg warmers, like they are really into the theme of the aerobics, which is really cute. So Tamra and Vicki, they're in the kitchen with Dorinda. They're all dressed, ready for the aerobics, and it comes up about food, something about the food. And so Dorinda gives them a reminder. She tells them no eating food in the rooms. Like that's one of her house rules, no food in the rooms. And I really understand her rule because I have the same rule. And it's always so disgusting, and it really irks me when there are adults. I'm not talking about kids. Of course, kids cannot eat in the rooms either. However, whenever the adults do not pay attention to the rules, and even if they have their drinks, they leave half of the drink sitting in the room, or they'll leave candy wrappers, or they always leave trash, just as the kids would. So it's like, oh my God, that's why I say no eating in the room. So I feel Dorinda on that. And so the ladies, they're like, okay, well, they didn't know. And she was like, well, I put a plaque in everybody's room. There's a plaque with the rules on it. And they were like, well, Tamara's saying she didn't see the plaque, talking about there's so much going on in the room with stuff hanging from the ceiling and stuff all around the room. I guess she's trying to talk about Dorinda's decorating, because Dorinda's style of decorating is a little different in so many cases compared, to what maybe a lot of us would like. But hey, that's her Bluestone Manor. That's her house, and you're welcome to decorate your house how you would like. So anyway, Dorinda was like, yes, there's a plaque in every room with the rules on it. Did you not see it? And so she was like, I would go get the plaque so you can see it. And Tamara's like, I got it. No eating in the room. I don't need to see the plaque. And she was like, no, I'll go get it so you can see it. Tamara's like, I don't need to see the plaque. You don't even have to go get the plaque. And it's like, to me, Tamara is the person that escalated this particular argument because she kept going on and on. Let the lady go get the plaque. If you don't say anything back to her, it won't get carried on. As she just kept saying stuff, and Dorinda kept, it really was a crazy argument. And so Dorinda comes back with the plaque, and she is scolding Tamara because Tamara just won't let it go. Like, okay, she's like, okay, we want you in your room, we want you in your room. And then they're saying that, well, Marco must not know. Marco is the butler that's there because he brought them food to the room and everything. And she was like, yeah, Marco knows, you know. And then we see where the camera goes to Marco, and Marco's like, well, he knows there is no eating in the rooms at the Bluestone Manor. However, he thought that this particular filming of the girls trip was an exception. And he looks like he's in so much trouble. He's scared. He looks scared like a little boy, as if he's in so much trouble. So anyway, back to the argument with Tamra and Dorinda. Dorinda's going on and on about not eating in the rooms because that causes more work for her, and especially her housekeeper. And it's unfair because her housekeeper is who has to clean up behind them, and it isn't. I totally agree with Dorinda. It's not fair to have to clean up behind grown ass people when you told them not to eat in your rooms. And then they're saying they don't eat in the rooms at their own house. Like they have the same rules. And so Dorinda's like, okay, well, why would you eat in my house then like that? Why would you do that? Why would you eat in my rooms? And they can't even give an answer. And so Tamara's like starts crying, and Vicky's like, oh, look, Dorinda, you made her cry. And Dorinda was like, okay, well, I could cry too. And so Dorinda started her whole spiel about how she's offended about them eating in the room and she's worked so hard. And so that really gets Tamara upset. And she was like, you can just stop it. And Dorinda was like, you know what? I just don't have time for I don't have time for this. Don't even come outside to the exercise thing. Tamara storms upstairs like a child, and she doesn't attend the aerobics, and neither does Vicky. Of course, Vicky's gonna go wherever Tamara is. So the other ladies, they eventually go outside and they all attend the aerobics, and it seems to be a great workout. Like the ladies are really working out, doing the aerobics, the different steps that Dorinda gave them because she was the instructor, and they even had like the little trampolines for them to jump up and down. So they were all good sports with the exercise. And then while they're outside exercising, they're like, where are the other two? Tamara and Vicky, they're up in the room. Of course, they're still talking about the whole thing with Dorinda. And then they're going around the room. It's so funny. They're going around the room picking up trash that they have all over the ladies' bedroom. Like they have wine glasses in the bathroom. They have like the cupcake box in the corner. Trash is like everywhere. And even Marco comes to the door and asks him if he can help them with anything. And they hand him a bag of trash. Talking about they don't want to get in trouble. It was just too funny. So, later on, the ladies, they all get dressed for the tea party. And this is hosted by Taylor. This was supposed to replicate when Taylor, years ago when she was on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she spent over $50,000 for her little girl's tea party. It was a birthday party, but she had a tea party theme, you know. And so it was a replicator of that, and they went to this beautiful estate. I think it was called Nun K. I was like, oh wow, it was just so beautiful. And come to find out, it's the same people that built the Bluestone Manor. So once the ladies get seated and everything, they talk about how good the aerobics was, and of course, Phaedra, she's sitting there enjoying her cucumber sandwiches, and she asked Vicky and Tamara why they didn't come, and so Tamara was like, she felt like it was just too much, especially that whole thing with her and Dorinda about the food in the room, and you know, it was just too much going on, and Vicky was like, she's following suit of Tamara, so if Tamara didn't go, she wasn't gonna go. And then Dorinda was like, yeah, it was too much, but you still should have been a good sport. You should have showed up because it didn't have anything to do with you, Vicky. And then Vicky was like, well, if Tamara wasn't gonna go, I wasn't gonna go. And so Dorinda was like, yeah, that's the problem. It's like you guys have one voice. You don't know how to separate yourself. And they was like, no, we have our own voice. We speak our own voice or whatever. And so it gets to Eva, what Eva tells Vicky that she's the only person there that's causing conflict, because Vicky mentioned that there's a group of 8 women and there's so much conflict, and Eve was like, no, there isn't any conflict. You're the only conflict. You're the only person that's really been negative around here, which is so true, and I'm glad Eva told her that. And so, Vicky, she becomes apologetic, and they were like, yeah, maybe they should have just came on or whatever. And so, Dorinda's like, they turned a mole into a mountain hill, or is it a mountain hill into a mole? They turned something very simple into something very big for no reason. And so then Jill's saying that Tamara looked like she need a hug. She's telling Dorinda this. She's whispering to Dorinda, and Dorinda was like, "Okay, we'll go give her one." Pretty much, Dorinda's like, she don't even have time for this shit. Whatever. But when they all get up and they're leaving the tea party, that's when Jill goes over and gives Tamara a hug, and she calls Dorinda over to also give Tamara a hug. And Dorinda and Tamara and also Vicky, they hug it out, and of course they're all apologetic, and they decided they're gonna try to move forward and have fun, you know. All right, so then we see Jill and Taylor outside by the pool, and Taylor shares with Jill that on their way back to the house from the tea party, that Dorinda had like a little meltdown, and she was very vulnerable, and she told the ladies that she missed having someone. Like, she used the example of Eva on the phone with her husband, and like the other ladies having their partners and everything and being in a relationship, and she said she wished she had that. She really missed that. So Taylor's thinking that, Jill, that Dorinda needs someone and that she's lonely and everything. And Jill, she kind of agrees, and she says that she really thinks that Dorinda is in a funky place. And she said that she reached out to Dorinda when she became a widow, and even when she was on the Housewives, before Dorinda got on the Housewives, that she had Dorinda to come film one of these seasons with her, one episode of a season. However, once Jill left the Housewives and then Dorinda came on, it's like Dorinda distanced herself, and she came very dismissive of Jill. And so Jill said that she sees Dorinda as a user. All right, so just from that, you could tell there's some type of tension between Jill and Dorinda. All right, later on that evening, they go to the Prohibition, which is outside in the yard. It's so beautiful there. It appears to be anyway. And of course, Vicky's ready to whoop it up. They're gonna get a taste. I think this is Dorinda's bourbon, so they're supposed to taste different bourbons and everything. And Vicky's, she's all for it. She wants the cocktails, and she's getting turned up. And next thing we know, she's at the table, and she becomes vulnerable herself. She's sitting next to Eva, and she lets Eva know. She shares with Eva that she's afraid about the next door opening as far as a relationship, and I guess trying to learn someone all over again, because she thought she was going to marry the last guy, Rick. I think his name was Rick or Steve, whatever his name was. But of course, he broke up with her before, like, on her way to Bluestone Manor or something like that. He's already broken off the engagement. So she's in the dumps about that, and she's like, she wants to be pretty much a good person, and she don't want to leave that Bluestone Manor without having friends and not being in a good place with everyone. She don't want to leave with anything negative, and she's gonna try to have a good time. So the next thing we know, that there's a burlesque dancer that comes while they're outside, and she's doing her dance for them. And of course, the ladies start getting up and they're dancing, and Marco's even in the mix, and we see that Brandy is pulling his shirt off. Of course, Tamara got to get all the attention she can get. She pulls her pants down, and then we see Taylor dancing with Marco also. So it's like they're having their little dance outside and everything. And then back at the house, the ladies, they go change into their pajamas. And Brandy and Tamara, they are so lit, they still want to party. So they're like running through the house trying to turn up. And the other ladies are like sitting down. And it's to the point where Dorinda was going to share about how her and Jill became friends. But then we have those other two nutcases that run in the room. They was like, party, party. And they was like, no, let's sit down and listen to this about Jill and Dorinda. But we never get to hear it, and I wanted to hear it because they're running around talking about party, party. They're even in the kitchen. They have gotten the burlesque dancer to try to party with them, and Tamra again trying to seek attention, more attention, because it's all about Tamra. She pulls up her top, showing her tits. Craziness. And then back to the ladies that's sitting down. Eva says that she needs to go to bed because she has to get up early the next morning. I think she gets up 6 in the morning to do her radio show with Ricky Smiley. And so Jill's like, well, can I be on? Can you have me on? And so Eva's like, no, you have to get clearance. You have to get permission or something like that. It's a national syndicated show and you can't be on there. And she was like, well, can I at least come sit on the bed and listen? And then Eva's pretty much saying no, but Dorinda tell Jill to stop being damn thirsty. Like, no, you cannot go in there and be in the room with Eva while she's doing her job. Stop being thirsty. And Jill was like, what? No, I just wanted to go and support her. And Dorinda's telling Jill, no, you need to stop it. You need to stop it. And so Jill, she really don't like the way Dorinda's talking to her and everything, and then especially when Dorinda told her she was being thirsty. So she gets up and she storms out, and like she's just gonna go to her bed, but it really hurt her feelings. It crushed her. And so her and Phaedra are in the confessional where they sit in front of the camera and share their thoughts or whatever, and she's telling Phaedra about how Dorinda doesn't support her. And then we see Eva and we see Dorinda also come in the room, and they're like, what? And Jill's like sitting there crying, and it just turns into like some more noise, like for no reason. And so Phaedra starts yelling, this is why they should not drink bourbon, that the bourbon was too strong, and that brown liquor got them acting like fools. Another crazy episode. So we see Jill walking out, and Dorinda's walking behind her, telling her she's weak. Of course, Dorinda's drunk. Whenever Dorinda gets drunk, she gets crazy, and she just says whatever. So she's just saying stuff to Jill, and Jill's walking off. She's in tears, and that's how it ended. So I'm quite sure we're going to go into the next episode with Dorinda and Jill and whatever the little beef they have against each other, with each other. Alright, so that was the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. This is season 2 with the ex-housewives. I am enjoying this season 2 with the ex-housewives. I like it better than season 1 that had Teresa and Kenya and Cynthia. It was okay, but this one right here, this is really a winner, and I am really enjoying the episodes. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Please click like. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. You're always welcome to leave a comment. And I hope you guys continue to have a great day. Bye.